Hello, I'm Joel with Power Stance Import Export, and if you came across this video through an eBay listing, thanks for watching. That's what these videos are for. But if you happen to stumble across it through a random YouTube search or suggestion and you have any questions about the vehicle, give us a call here at the number listed below, or find us on Facebook, Instagram, and the YouTube channel at Power Stance Import Export. We are a licensed used car dealer located right here in Oxford, Michigan. Hello, and up for sale today, I've got a beautiful, completely original 1988 Ford Ranger XLT with the 2.3 liter 4-cylinder and the 5-speed manual transmission. Now, this was an Arizona truck, and long story short, the owner passed away, and family members took it and stored it for a long time. And unfortunately, it sat outside for a little while, and I was able to purchase the vehicle and clean it up. First thing I did was power wash all the mildew off of it and lightly buff and wax the paint in it. It came out super shiny, glossy. I don't know exactly the color name, but it's a gray metallic two-tone burgundy paint with the pinstripe. And something that you could do pretty easily to spruce this thing up real quick would be to replace this pinstripe. But you need somebody that really knows what they're doing to get these bends right. But other than that, the truck itself is in pretty decent shape. Various nicks and scratches around the bodywork, but again, Arizona truck, rust-free panels. The only rust on the vehicle really is surface rust on the chassis. And then there's a tiny bit of rust here on the quarter panel fender on both sides. So other than that, doors, rocker panels, all super clean, rust-free, really good shape. So let me walk you around the vehicle. Also, another blemish would be some hail damage. So we do have a couple 10 or 15 dings on the roof and on the hood as well. So they're not too noticeable on camera, but you can see them in person, I don't know, from a few feet away. But other than that, the truck is super clean, super original. 54,000 miles. Here's the 2.3 4-cylinder. And now this has not been armoralled or sprayed down with any kind of grease to make it look shiny. This is exactly how clean the motor is. And it looks like it's pretty much off the factory line. All the little labels and stickers are in place. Little clips, plastic clips holding everything together, all in place. I did give it a new valve seal cover, new spark plug wires, a couple little sensors here and there to get it to idle properly. Although it still does idle a little bit rough, and I'll show you that later once we fire it up. But it does run and drive great, other than a tiny rough idle, which is barely noticeable sometimes. New battery in 2019. Does have air conditioning, but the air conditioning needs to be recharged. It's got the R12, the old coolant refrigerant, so that's going to need to be charged or converted over to the R32 stuff. There's your air conditioning compressor, belts, pulleys, hoses, all in good shape. It's even got the little thing that you use for your jack under the hood. Pretty decent shape. No rust on the hood either. Sound deadening material. A little bit of mouse damage or something right there. The front grille is chrome, and the bumper is chrome as well. Super clean. Could do with a little bit of steel wool, make it a little shinier. Here we are on the passenger side. Again, tiny bit of rust on the front quarter panel fender there. We do have a nice set of BF Goodrich's, but these are from 2003, so there is a little bit of dry rotting and cracking in the tires, so not really safe for highway use. I would say they need to be replaced. But they do look good. Tons of tread on them. Passenger side. The seats do have a little bit of sun damage. Couple little cigarette burns and little stains, but all in all, the seats are, I would say, a 9 out of 10. Super clean. Still super red. Carpet is good. No floor mats, but I don't think the floor mats have been gone that long because the carpet is not damaged. It's pretty decent. Another little burn right here. Dashboard, pretty good. Small crack in the vinyl there. A little bit of sun fading on the top of the dashboard. 5-speed manual. Headliner is in great shape. Nice and clean. Passenger side bed. Again, this pinstriping is just started to flake off, unfortunately, and needs to be replaced. Inside the bed here, there's a little bit of wear and tear. No dents or scratches or holes. Just some of the paint came off and you can see some primer. In the back here, sliding window. The seals are in great shape. No cracking or dry rot on the window seals. Tailgate's in great shape as well. So some black paint should be nice and solid. I mean, the paint here should be solid, obviously, and it's chipped off a little bit. So there should be a black pinstripe going around this whole rear tailgate emblem. Rear chrome bumper as well, great shape. No dents, no bending. Nobody's rear-ended this thing. No, there's no real significant dents in this vehicle at all, other than the hail damage. Super straight. Tiny little dent right there. But now we're nitpicking. All right, so let's start her up and we'll go for a test ride, and we'll check underneath it next. Okay, I found a couple other little door dings here as well. Looks like somebody opened their door in the parking lot a couple times into this door. So there's 2 little dings there as well. And here at the passenger side, there's a pretty decent scratch right there as well. And then now that the hood is closed, try to get you a better look at the hail damage. Yeah, 3 or 4 on this side, and another 2 or 3 over here, 3 or 4. And one more quick video of the interior here, just to show you that I truly believe it is 54,000 original miles. The armrest isn't worn out. The seat sides where you get in and out of the vehicle isn't ripped or torn or worn out. The pedals, gas, brake, clutch, not worn out. Tons of rubber still left on them. The steering wheel, still some texture on the steering wheel there, so that's not worn out. You know, because this could have rolled over. It could be 155,000 miles, and I have no way of proving that other than just to show you how clean and original the vehicle is and how little it's been worn out. And besides communicating with the previous owners, but yes, 54,000 original miles. Okay, so let's start it up. All right, no warning lights. Idling at 1,000 RPMs. It will calm down once it warms up. Nice and smooth. no smoke coming out of the tailpipe or anything like that. And you can kind of hear that rattle from the catalytic converter, but that's all that is. Old school American doors. You can't beat them. Okay, here at the rear of the vehicle rides quite nicely. The shocks have not been replaced recently though, but they are in working condition. The brake lines are all great. All factory brake lines, nothing's been replaced. Springs, bushings, all great. Muffler's good. The muffler does have a cover on the catalytic converter that does rattle. So I'm gonna leave it that way instead of cutting it off or trying to weld it. But it could drive someone mad, or you just leave it. Chassis is in great shape as well. Again, a little bit of surface rust, but definitely nothing structural. And here we are at the driver's side. Again, slight surface rust on the chassis. And also when I got this vehicle, we removed the fuel tank, power washed it out, cleaned it all out real good. New fuel sending unit. Both the fuel pumps have been replaced as well. So basically from the tank all the way to the front, fuel lines have been replaced. And I forgot to mention earlier, all brakes have been done as well, all four corners. Okay, so here's a look at the rear axle. No leaking coming out of the pinion seal. Universal joints look good. Drive shaft, it's actually a pretty beefy drive shaft. Muffler, again, a little bit of surface rust, but no holes in the muffler. There's a look at the leaf spring bushings, a tiny bit of dry rotting, but again, there's no clunking coming out of the suspension. There's the rear shocks. I don't see any leaks whatsoever coming out of this underside. There's the catalytic converter. That's what's rattling. Underside, there's the gearbox. Chassis rails, if you can see back there, there's where we replaced the fuel pumps. There's two of them, and both of them are replaced. There's a look at the body mounts. As you can see, they're pretty solid. There's no dry rotting or cracking or rusting going on underneath the floorboards. And then here's the rear of the cab body mounts. Nice and solid. No dry rotting, no separation. Nice and solid. Again, a little bit of surface rust on the chassis, but that is it. Okay, so let's take it for a spin. She fires right up. Radio's working. Fan is working. I don't know if you can hear that or not. Fan's working. It does have cruise control, and that's pretty much its only option. Other than that, power steering, power brakes, okay. But that was pretty standard back in those days in 1988. All right, so we're going down a bumpy dirt road here. I just want to show you how nice and solid everything is. Absolutely no clunking coming out of the gear changes. And the suspension and the drive line, everything's super smooth. Nice and quiet in here. We're doing 40 miles an hour, that's third gear. And there's fourth gear. I mean, hardly any road noise. This is a dirt road, you know, there's bumps and stuff. Okay. Anyways, there's fourth gear. Handles the road quite nicely. And we're coming to a hill here, so downshift into third. Nice and smooth. And like I said before in the video, all the brakes are new front and rear. The front discs were not replaced, but the calipers and pads, rear drums, shoes and hardware all replaced. So the vehicle stops nicely. There's no shaking at all. So we'll come to a stop here nice and hard on the brakes. No pulling to the right or left. No vibration in the steering wheel at all. Dead straight at the stop. And so we'll spin it around here, show you reverse. No crunching at all when you put it in reverse. And there we go. Let's give it some beans. There's first gear.